We'll be starting off the front page review with The Nation. Major headline: Buhari's declaration in Bauchi. Tinubu is incoming president. And why the North should vote for ex-governor by Lawan Bajabiamila. Moving on to other stories: COVID-19, incoming travelers to provide vaccination evidence. The federal government yesterday announced that the international, in response to COVID. So things are changing. A very interesting news: excessive fasting destroys kidney, liver, NAFDAC warns. Farmers abducted in Osun, caught to DSS, charged terrorist negotiator, Tukom Mamu. We remain non-partisan, INEC assures. Electronic transmission stays. JAMB registers 92,490 candidates for UTME. FIRS nets highest ever revenue of 10 trillion naira. And stranded passengers lamented 14 hours flight delay. And you cannot miss the beautiful picture of history that happened yesterday as the $1.5 billion Lekki Deep Sea Port was inaugurated by the President, Muhammadu Buhari. This, they say, would help to boost the economic recovery by the President. All right, what story are we going with?
Okay, I'll start with INEC. So INEC chairman was speaking with the BBC News Africa, and he responded to a couple of questions that were asked of him. He dismissed reports that the commission may postpone the polls due to insecurity and attacks on the INEC facilities. He also assured Nigerians that INEC remains non-partisan because there have been allegations that he was somewhat affiliated or was more favorable towards the APC. He says these allegations that have been made of all electoral commissioners and electoral commissions in Nigeria and abroad, but there's nothing like that. They're non-partisan in INEC. And then he also said that results will be transmitted electronically. He mentioned a few of the states that we have done so far and elections that it has been carried out so far, and says based on the pilot experience, they're sure that we're able to do it, in the coming elections. He also said that people, because there were questions about what if there's no internet access and internet is down. He says this is something that can be done offline. Registration and all things can be done offline. And where there may be a network of transmission issue, you take a screenshot of the poll as it is, and you're also able to send it. So he's just saying Nigerians should be rest assured they're going to hand over to us a free and fair election.
Okay, so the Kaduna State High Court has ordered that the DSS should either should immediately charge the terrorist negotiator, Mamu Dako, to court. Immediately. The DSS has since September 2022 arrested him, and they've continued to hold him in detention. His lawyers have gone to court. They've gotten a court order instructing and compelling the DSS to immediately charge him to court for whatever charges that they have, or release him. If they have a tight case, they should charge him to court or release him. And so we're looking at that happening. The lawyers say that they expect that he should be charged within the week of following this order. Okay, Mikey?
Yeah, the passengers were stranded yesterday because there was at the Murtala Muhammad Airport and the Abuja International Airport, because the ground workers, sorry, why are you people? Ground handling and RAM service workers at the Murtala Mohammed Airport and the Abuja Airport were on strike. They were on strike for 14 hours. But the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company and other people came together to make peace with them. But all the airlines, Air France, KLM, Qatar, Ethiopian Airlines, Air Peace, Turkish Air, Virgin Atlantic, they were all disrupted. So passengers were waiting for like 14 hours. And
I saw some videos yesterday. I said I saw the mayhem, the chaos, the videos.
They agreed to go, because they now, inside the negotiation, they said that the resolutions were that NAHCO Aviation should withdraw the suit it's instituted at the National Industrial Court against the Workers' Union resumption of negotiation on staff welfare beginning tomorrow and non-victimization of any worker because of the strike.
So I want to take the NAFDAC story. Yesterday, Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, she gave an announcement that people should fast with sense. That she fasts, but she fasts with sense. She mentioned that kidney failure, liver damage, and others have killed a lot of Nigerians, and that because Nigerians are very religious, Christians and Muslims, that they tend to fast and go 10 days, 20 days without drinking enough water, and this affects the kidney. That if you're fasting, you should hydrate. Fast and drink a lot of water because, according to the word she used, homeostasis balance. The homeostasis balance is important for the body, and we put a lot of strain on the kidney. She also spoke about taking drugs from hawkers, buying medicine from hawkers, people selling without not in a proper pharmacy. Those medicines might not be in good condition, and they might also cause more kidney and liver damage.
So Ramadan is less than 60 days now, and a lot of Muslims, I have an auntie, I know she's watching, who doesn't eat. It is compulsory to take that sahur.
Morning breakfast.
It is even advice. If you miss it, it's okay, maybe, but you've intended to fast. But it's not like for you to skip it and say, no, as a part of your fast, it is necessary because your body is supposed to be refreshed as you're fasting, not punished because you're fasting.
What, you take the what? The sahur?
That's the morning meal.
Okay.
Sahur.
Moving on to the Punch. Major headline. Power outage disrupts APC rally. Stops Buhari Tinubu's speeches. In other news, the beautiful picture, Lagos projects jobs as president opens rice mill and seaport. That was yesterday. Nigerians now have alternative to PDP APC. That's from Kwakonso. Abductors working for highly connected people. That's from the FUNAB graduates. Diphtheria, federal government deploys response team as cases rise. Cash swap, CBN bars Abuja, Lagos POS operators, and federal government forecast fresh flooding in Plateau, Bayelsa, others. Finally, the story we've taken, Aviation Union strike stirs the airport commotion. All right. Can I talk about our
Please go ahead.
president being in Lagos yesterday? Apologies to those that felt like there was traffic or the roadblocks have really affected them, but whenever the president comes, we know that there will be a bit of challenge with traffic restrictions. But it came for something big, and it's something that Lagos has been working on for a long while, which is the rice mill. He opened the rice mill as well as the seaport. The particulars of the stories that everybody in my industry, the real estate industry, has been marketing with his videos of him doing it, talking about how the real estate space there would explode. But the governor said that this would provide lots of jobs, especially the rice mill and all that is going to happen within that ecosystem. So this is congratulations to the Lagos State government. I know that they are still opening even more projects today. And so people that are going towards the exit, be on the lookout so that you're not stuck in traffic.
I love the fact that they're looking to create more employment, over 200,000 jobs, direct and indirectly. So that's, for me, is just the highlight of the whole.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the front pages of the paper, and we're still on Punch. So,
yes, a 31-year-old farmer based in Osun State, Samuel Oladotun, was recently abducted with his brother in Osun State. And he was talking to the Punch about his experience and how they were marched from where they were kidnapped. They were kidnapped just as they were leaving the farm. He said he heard a loud bang, so he got out of his car. When he got out, the gunmen were there, and they took them away. They first of all made them walk for 45 minutes. Then they let them rest for a little while. Then they now walked for another 2-3 hours before the third time. And all this time, they didn't give them food and water. So, he said when they asked for water at one time, because his brother was fasting, when they asked for water at one time, they beat them. But one of the kidnappers spoke English and then gave them a little water. And he said they would give them sometimes dried yam or gari, and that it was such a harrowing experience. He believes that the kidnappers are not working alone; they're working for some bigger people. He said when you see the kidnappers, that they're just like maybe they don't even look like someone like people that have 50
that kind of money that they're asking for,
50K to themselves.
Obviously.
And then so it's obvious that they're working for bigger people. And he says that the police are not helping. He said because he said there are camps. He said in the bushes, the kidnappers have their camps. So nobody is going in to arrest them. And, you know, while they were there, they could see hunters, you know, so it's not...
It's not like it's some deep forest.
Yeah, and when they would see somebody, they would hide. They would hide them under the shrubs. But they had their camps. They would hide the people that they have kidnapped under the shrubs. It was a very harrowing experience. He says he's too afraid to go back to his farm.
Oh.
You know,
it's so sad.
And
but the police always say the reason they don't go in is because of the risk to the lives of the people that have been kidnapped.
Well, one thing he said was that the Amotekun would even be working well, but that the Amotekun cannot go and handle something without the permission of the police. And police say, government has not given them anything to work with, so they can't do anything. So it's like it's a stalemate. It's very, very sad story.
Very sad, and even more sad is the diphtheria, the disease that is spreading. The NCDC reports that we now have 123 cases, and it continues to grow. They are advising people start to vaccinate against it because we already have other diseases that we are dealing with of the same nature. Lassa fever, you know, COVID is still out there. Asking that, you know, we should try and do the vaccines. I'm already checking the records for my kids because I don't know the name of
everybody does it's DPT.
Yeah. So I just want to be sure that we have done it. And if there's an age limit, I think they should
people
be
did not
telling
even
us.
do DTP. I feel like everybody.
But
it's a free.
Sadly, some people go to some clinics to get their vaccines, where the vaccines would have lost their potency by the time they finish dispensing, and we don't follow up on that. So.
Because most of us get it, I think, is it not 14 days? Is it 6 days? I think it's even almost
immediately after having a child.
After you have a child, yeah.
Then you get booster shots after. So the CBN has excluded mobile money and POS agents in Abuja and Lagos from its newly launched cash swap program. This as a result, we know the 31st January deadline for phasing out our old 1,500 and 200 naira notes. And CBN has said that only 5 banks have been approved to engage in the program. They are Access Bank, Zenith, UBA, First Bank, and FCMB. And not all agents can participate. So only selected agents that have been profiled by the super agent, you know, they ask them for their NIN, BVN, all those things. It says not all agents can participate. On the number of states selected for the program, read all the 36 states except Lagos and FCT, Lagos and Abuja agents are excluded. So that means where agents can get new notes will be these are where they can get new notes. So customers would come with their cash, and then there will be a swap. But not all agents. Only they are vetted agents, and also the ones in Lagos and Abuja have not been vetted to participate in that particular program.
All right, moving on to Daily Sun. Major headline: elections, 3.5 million students won't vote. Will be in school during elections, whereas they registered at home. Nigerians knock varsities, poly for not considering academic break. In other news, PDP insists Tinubu cannot contest in 2023. They head to court. Old Naira note, Nigerians lament over long queues at ATM points. CBN under pressure as deadline draws near. Oni of Ife, demands end to human trafficking. 6 stiffer punishments for culprits. NAHCO suspends 14-hour strike. International local flights were grounded. And TikTok launches Safer Together with consciousness for its users to stay safe in and off app. What are we going to be discussing?
elections, 3.5 million registered students may not vote. So we have that no fewer than 3.5 million Nigerian students have registered for the general elections. But as we know, given the long ASU strikes, most students are going to be back in school during that period. And so, you know, there are complaints here and there saying that can schools make it some time available for these children to be able to go back home or wherever it is that they registered, because most of them are leaving, are going to school very far away or in different states from where they have registered. And
3.5 is a huge number.
It is a huge number. So anyway, it looks like they may be disenfranchised unless they happen to be where their polling stations are. And also the INEC chairman gave some new numbers. He says this year's election is for the youth. He says newly registered voters stood at over 9.5 million people. He says in terms of demographics, 7.2 million new voters, and most of them are young people between 18 to 34 years of age. So
wow.
In campaigning, the youth are your target. Yeah, they're your targets. And then they also said, I think this is important, that the percentage of, we have more women than men that have registered as well. So
TikTok has decided to do an awareness, and I must commend them for that. They're doing an awareness on their safety measures on that app to they brought creators, influencers, parents and users together and teaching them some measures that are put there to prevent the fears that we have about social media, to ensure that, maybe your security code and all of that is done. They brought this awareness, and the Director of Public Policy and Government Relations TikTok in Africa, Fortune Migodi Simbada, was the one who was stressing on this project. It is to erase our fears that we have around it and bring a safer together campaign so everybody can be on the platform.
Sorry, Nema. I was just going to talk about CBN again. CBN have decided to go on sting operations in the banks to see the ones that are not dispensing new notes. Okay. And, they've caught a lot of banks. When they get there, they will identify. Once they've caught them, they will identify and say, look, I'm from CBN, you are not doing this. So they have written... They're writing their lists of all the banks that are not. So sometimes when they go and the banks are doing the right thing, they'll just leave without identifying themselves. But meanwhile, in Kebbi, a lot of one of the customers, he was number 260 on the queue, and he wanted to deposit his money. That they should please help them make this. That he has come from a far place to come to the only bank there in that area, and he's number 260. They should please help him. He was a staunch Buhari supporter, but this one is as if Buhari is not thinking of the plight of the masses.
Buhari has to be on the queue.
He's moving on. Final paper. We can't take more. Well, out of time, just to read the headlines of the Nigerian Tribune. Petrol sells as high as 350 per litre. Motorists and commuters groan. Abducted local government chairman beheaded in Imo after paying a 6 million naira ransom. So sad. Oshu records first case of diphtheria. Appeal court orders APC to conduct fresh primaries in 11 Benue local government. NNPCL Council stages a walkout in Ararome's 100 billion naira suit. Well, that's all we can take.